This is Mark.
This is Kendrick.
And this is Movies in Black and White.
Yeah, today we're going to do 21 Bridges.
Yeah, I'm doing 21 Bridges. I chatted with Boseman. I figured for Black History Month we'd do something with him because he's played so many iconic black entertainers, role models,
Characters.
Jackie Robinson,
Black Panther.
Yeah.
James Brown.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Stop it.
No, it was this was your pick. You wanted to do this one. I was totally okay with it because I wanted to see 21 Bridges.
Right.
Fun little story for you. When 42 came out, and I'm not a big sports movie guy, but if they look good, I'll watch them. Like The Way Back, I want to see that with Ben Affleck. That looks good.
It's very good.
Usually I'm not up for sports movies, but when 42 was going to come out, I saw the previews. I saw it had Harrison Ford, and Chadwick Boseman was pretty fresh at that point in time. Not many people knew him. I was like, you know what? I want to go check this out. So me and my buddy, who's a big baseball player, went and saw it. And we were watching it, and I thoroughly enjoyed 42. Like, I own it. I love it. It's a great movie. I'll watch it again and again. I told my buddy in the middle of the movie, I turned to him, and I was like, man, Chadwick Boseman is a great actor. I was like, I think he would be good Black Panther. Now, this was years before he got announced he was Black Panther.
Many years.
And I totally forgot about the conversation. I didn't even think about it. Well, when they were announcing the cast for Civil War, when Marvel had their little press conference years back for Phase 3, they announced Civil War. They brought out Robert Downey and Chris Evans, and Kevin Feige came on stage and said, and we'd like to introduce our Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. Well, then in my mind, I'm like, damn, I know that guy. Where did I see him from? Yeah. And I clicked on my brain. I was like, oh, it's 42. The second it got announced, my buddy texted me and goes, how the fuck did you know? How did you know? I'm like, I didn't. I was like, that was just, it was a guess of mine. I thought he'd be a good actor.
Yeah.
To play Black Panther, and sure enough, there he was, and like that was the perfect fit. He is Black Panther. He nails it. He understands it. He's a good Black Panther.
Yes, he is.
So I always cling to that story because it's one of my favorites for my Marvel universe. It just shows I'm a huge Marvel fan. So I love Chadwick Boseman. I've loved him since I first saw him in 42, and I'll watch anything he's in.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor. I hope there's a rumor going around Kevin Hart wants to get Uptown Saturday Night going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He talked to Chadwick Boseman about it. I don't know if he'll do it, but hey, it'll be great.
I would love to see a movie with Chadwick Boseman, Denzel, John David Washington, and Danny Glover.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be a really cool movie.
I wonder if John David Washington would act in a movie with Denzel.
I don't know. It may be a little too meta.
Yeah.
But I think it would be really cool. I would love to see father and son acting together and see how they play off each other. I mean, obviously Denzel raised him and taught him a lot of what he knows, so it'd be cool to see.
Mannerisms are very similar. The
more than I would like to see that movie, I'd like to be on set and watch those two interact while filming a movie.
Right.
That would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
But it's this movie, 21 Bridges, is produced, and the big part of the trailers was produced by the guys making Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. Right. It's produced by the Russos, but they didn't direct it or write it. I don't think. I'm pretty sure they didn't write it, but they did produce it, and it was a really good movie. Like, I enjoyed it. There's some twists and turns. It was a nice cop flick with a good mystery behind it.
Right.
It was enjoyable.
I agree. As per the usual, it's well acted. I mean, they had J.K. Simmons in it as the police chief. I think that was...
You ready? I'll read off the cast. It's got a really good cast. Yeah. Obviously, it's got Chadwick Boseman. It's got Sienna Miller. It's got J.K. Simmons, Stephen James, Taylor Kish. If you don't know who Taylor Kish is, this guy that played John Carter.
Correct.
And he plays in a lot of other things. He played Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Man, he got screwed in that. Yeah, like I said, Keith David, Alexander Siddig, Victoria Cartagena. I think that's how you say that name. Gary Carr, Morocco Omari, and Adrian Lennox, and a bunch of other people, but those are the big ones. The cast was really good.
It was really good.
I was kind of sad there wasn't more of Keith David, because I love watching Keith David.
I agree. I was kind of sad there was, I felt that they could have fleshed this movie out a little bit more.
It was short.
Yeah, it was very short.
It was quick.
It was a little too to the point. I mean, we understood, it gave us a sense that they had a sense of urgency. Hey, they had to catch these guys before they disappeared.
Yeah.
So, you closed down the island.
Yeah.
Flood the island with blue, and you'd send everybody after everybody. Well, in the midst of everything, you kind of get the sense that something doesn't smell right.
No, there's a plot that's key here.
There's a big plot. They bring in Chadwick Boseman's character, whose father was killed in line of duty, and he is a guy that they kind of call the trigger.
Well, he's notorious for being a guy that kills cop killers.
Exactly.
So real quick, the movie it just came out on Blu-ray, so we figured since we didn't get to watch it in theaters, we'd go ahead and do a new release review. Kind of like we want to do a few of those for movies we missed. Like we're gonna do Jojo Rabbit here next week, I believe, is when we want to do that one. It was the one where the two guys kill several cops. They shut down Manhattan. They close all 21 bridges leading into Manhattan, and they go on the hunt for these guys. You really didn't get the sense that they closed Manhattan. They didn't make a big a deal of it as I thought they would, like they did in the trailers.
No.
It was just like, yeah, we closed Manhattan. Okay. No repercussions for this. We're not showing the bridges closed down. We're not showing it. Okay, just fuck it. The
crazy traffic, crazy,
Well, it was the middle of the night,
altering things,
and they had until like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to get these guys until they had to reopen Manhattan because
it's the middle of the night.
Yeah,
if you've ever been in New York at nighttime, it looks like downtown any other city in the middle of the day. I mean, it's you can't tell. I mean, you get so lost in the time that you don't realize it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, oh, it's probably 11 o'clock, but there's so much hustle and bustle.
Yeah, it was a lot of dead streets in this movie, surprisingly.
Yeah,
I mean, except towards the end when they was like getting earlier into the wee hours of the morning, there was a little more traffic and they got hit by a couple cars. Some of the guys did. I mean, there was a little more foot traffic then. I mean, the city was still alive with like in buildings and stuff. Like nothing ever seemed to shut down. Like there were people still in the kitchens and all the other stuff.
But it wasn't crowded.
Yeah, it like you said, it could have been a little more fleshed out.
Right,
absolutely could. It was, by no stretch though was it a bad movie.
No,
it was
not at all.
Directed by a guy named Brian Kirk, and I don't know. He's done quite a few TV things, but I think his first big film was this one. Oh, he directed some Game of Thrones episodes, Luther, Dexter.
Here's the thing.
A lot of TV.
You can tell.
It's TV director?
Yes, because it has a TV feel. One of our friends at work hit the nail on the head. It seemed like it was a really good, Saturday night TNT movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll give it that.
It seemed like that. Because, number one, it was so short. It was so rushed.
Yeah.
And things. I mean, yeah, it kept moving, and I think it gave you the sense of, they had to catch these guys and all that stuff. But it at the expense of giving you more of what was good in this movie.
It was made on a modest budget. I mean, modest for movies.
Yeah.
Most movies are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. This one was only $33 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can understand. It was an hour and 40 minutes.
Right.
This movie could have easily been 2 hours, and the story would have warranted it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a movie that's like, it could have been shorter. Now, this one could have been longer, and I'd been absolutely okay with it. It didn't do super well in the box office. It got like $49 million.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it was just the guys, the Russos producing. Now, if they would have directed this, people would have been all over it. People would have been on this like white and rice.
Different movie, I do believe.
Now, to be fair to that guy, though, the Russos were known for TV. And then they stepped into the directing world. Yeah. And their first big movie was You, Me, and Dupree. You remember that movie?
Correct, yes.
And then they jumped straight into Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I think they looked for a guy that had done a lot of TV that wanted to break into film and said, okay, here's your shot. And You, Me, and Dupree kind of felt like a TV movie, too. Every time a TV director goes into film, their first movie always feels like a mix between TV and film. I think this guy could get it and do it well.
I think so, too.
Because there was quite a few good shots. Like my wife and I were watching it, and the beginning scene where they're having the funeral for his dad, and when he was a little kid, and you walk outside and it's an aerial shot looking down, and you see all the cops salute with their white gloves. My wife goes, "Wow, that's a really cool shot," and I agree with her. That was a really good shot. Like there was some good shots in this movie.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. And like you said, there was some good dialogue and some good action scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't by any means a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I enjoyed watching it, but it was like you said, it was just had that feel of could have been more.
Oh, wow. Get this. So, Ray Jackson, the character that was played by Taylor Kitsch, Chris Pratt was considered for the role originally.
Okay.
I can't see Chris Pratt as being a bad guy, though.
Either.
He doesn't have that hard-ass mentality. Exactly. He's more of that light-hearted, goofy guy. Though I could try to see him play that.
Kitsch looks like he's, been through a little bit.
Taylor Kitsch? Oh, yeah, he really does. He's kind of got that edge to him. This movie kind of came out of left field, in the middle. Oh, it was originally under the title of 17 Bridges. The music was pretty good in this movie too.
Yeah,
Nothing super memorable, but it was pretty good. And overall, the movie moved, and it was one scene after another. And like you said, you could definitely tell there was a plot afoot. And ultimately, you find out that these two guys played by Taylor Kitsch and this other kid, I don't even remember him. It was Stephen James played a character named Michael Trujillo.
Yeah, right.
They raided this. What was it? A restaurant.
Yeah, they came in and they were supposed to rob this restaurant of
30 kilos of coke.
Okay, they walk in and it's 300 keys.
Yeah, they shit their pants.
They're like, okay, why are we walking in at 300 keys? Oh, Kish says, hey, I don't care. Let's just take it. Let's get out of here. So they take 50. Well, the guy who's guarding the stuff is waiting for the police to get there. But he's waiting for the police in the wrong way.
Yeah.
These are crooked cops coming to pick up their dope and transport this dope around the city.
You don't learn that until the end. Like, that's the big reveal at the end. Like, throughout the whole thing, it's peppered. Like, how are the cops getting here so fast? It's 85 precinct. And then you end up finding out that the money launderer that they're going to get all their money that they sold from the coke laundered before they bailed, because they killed 7 cops.
Yeah.
So they're like, we need to leave. Like, we need to go. We need money. The kid so Taylor Kitsch was an ex-military guy in the movie.
Both of them were.
Yeah, both of them were, but Taylor Kitsch was actually part of the military.
Really
and his best friend, which was Michael's older brother, got blown up in Afghanistan, and then Michael tried to join the army and got dishonorably discharged because he had an attitude. But he's really smart. Like, he was a smart kid, and he was making all the plays. Mm-hmm. And then they go to this money launderer, and the money launderer gets shot up by the cops because they were showing up to go, because they knew they would probably be there because they laundered their money there. And he gets thumb drives. Ultimately, the 2 kids end up dying. Taylor Kitsch and Michael. They both end up dying. Chadwick Boseman only kills one of them.
Right.
He was trying to talk him out. And the big thing that he pushed for in the movie, and you could really tell, was he only shot the cop killers when he had reason to. Like, if he was being attacked or anything like that. He only killed Taylor Kitsch out of self-defense and the fact he had just shot an innocent guy right in the head.
Correct.
So he took him down.
Cause.
Yeah. And everybody treats him like he just cold blood kills these guys. And he always has to defend himself. So he was really trying with Michael to calm him down, talk him down, and then his partner, quote unquote, shot him right in the chest, Michael, to take him down. Come to find out she was part of the whole ring.
Detective.
I'll tell you what, this dude was fucking Superman, though. Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, yeah.
They both got hit by a car. While Michael was like just kind of like groggy running, Chadwick just like, oh shit, I'm going to get you. Like, he was hustling.
Adrenaline's pumping.
And then when they had the shootout at the end of the house where he went and confronted the captain of the 85th precinct, another cop showed up. He didn't get grazed. He didn't get shot. Nothing.
Yeah.
And he took all 4 of those guys down. 4 guys down. He took 4 guys down quickly.
Yeah.
He was completely Superman. I mean, hell, even in Die Hard, John McClane didn't come out unscathed.
Those are the things that I looked at sometimes in this movie that were like, okay, it's a little too neat with a bow. They tied it up really neat with a bow. And it's like, okay, okay, Grady walked off into the sunset, he solved the crime, and he, didn't get hurt and everything like that. But it's kind of not realistic. I mean, some of the things were realistic. Some of the, the attitudes of the cops, towards the cop killers were realistic.
Oh, yeah, they were out for blood.
We don't know until later, sort of later, that they're trying to cover up their tracks as well.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, I like when Chadwick told J.K. Simmons, you were scorching earth just to cover your tracks.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And then they kind of just had that standoff for a second where they were looking at each other, and you could feel the tension in that scene.
Correct.
Man, J.K. Simmons can sell a scene, though. I'm telling you, like you said, this could have been longer. There could have been an ending scene with him and Keith David having to go into another one of those hearings that he had with Internal Affairs at the beginning of the movie. And explain why he did everything he did. And kind of like...
why he killed all the police officers.
Yeah, because the other cops show up at the captain's house and they just take away his partner because she survived the whole gun out, and just take her away because she gave up. They don't start questioning him. No questions are asked.
Nothing.
It's just, it's over, it's done, it's game over. It's like, all right, cool, whatever.
The ending was a little bit fuzzy because, you sit and you see the flash drives broken.
Was it broken? No, it was two flash drives,
Two-
and they had
Were they-
bloody thumbprints on both
Okay.
of them, so they
Alright.
weren't broken.
Yeah, it looked like they were broken, but
No, because he got into it. Remember?
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
he got into it. But I didn't know if he broke them, was bluffing, saying, hey, I put these out in the world. But I don't think so. I think he did put them out in the world, and that's why the cops didn't question.
That was pretty quick though for it to go around like that. I mean, but
know.
it did show how fast the cops can get active information.
Right.
Like when they were going through the security camera, the CCTV people.
traffic cams, yeah.
with the police, and they're like, we need to look for this in this intervals, and they started going through within 30 seconds. They had them their answers. Like they were
Right.
moving quick. They were getting their answers. When those police force want them to get this shit done, they get their shit done and quickly. And they really showed that in this movie. And it was really cool to see.
Seemed like it.
Seemed like they were really active because their cops had been killed. They did a really good job with that, though.
They did, really. I mean, and that's really the response you'd probably get,
Yeah.
if that happened. Especially in that level. 7 cops down in one place.
That was a lot. Well, it wasn't just one. It was in the building and then outside.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One general area.
They
were right
that
there.
was a bloody fight, too, pretty
Yeah.
quickly. Like, Taylor Kitchen had other kid, Michael. I keep forgetting Taylor Kitchen's character name in the movie.
Yeah, they were surgical.
They were quick. They had automatics with suppressors on it. I almost said silencers. Suppressors. They had suppressors on them, so they were quick. They were tactical, and they knew what they were. Ray Jackson was his name in the movie.
Right.
Ray and Michael. Yeah, it was really cool because you really got to see their horror when the cops found out that they were who they were and stuff. They were like, okay,
Right.
we're screwed. We
Yeah.
killed 7 cops. They are going to kill us. They're not going to give us a chance.
They walk in basically every place they're walking into, and they're on TV.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
It's like, oh, jeez.
Tell you what, the one scene where they were in the money launderer's house,
Mm-hmm.
and the cops start showing up and banging, trying to get that door open, and you saw the dents coming in,
Like,
and the
"What's
guy
that?"
goes, the money launderers goes, "Do you know whose house you're doing this to? Do you know where you're at?" And they shoot. He looks through the peephole, and the cop shoots
him.
through the other end and blows out his eye. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God,
Wow.
that's like worst nightmare level right there."
Yeah. You're
It's like anytime you look through your peephole, I'd freak out.
gonna
Now.
still be alive, but you're dying slow.
Oh, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt real bad. And they really did show him screaming and
Yeah.
freaking out. And then he got his little revenge by giving up those thumb drives.
Right.
That's why you don't piss off the guy that deals with all the money.
That's what. Yeah. Exactly.
You should know that. Any gangster movie you've ever seen, you never piss off the guy that handles all the money.
The guy that knows your secrets.
Yeah.
Don't piss him off.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, I'd watch it again. I'm glad I didn't go see it in theaters.
Right.
I felt like it would have been a waste of a movie night at the theaters.
I agree
Personally.
with that.
But I'm glad I bought it on Blu-ray and I get to watch it anytime
Yeah.
I want. Because it would warrant a second, maybe even a third watch within a year. Kind of just like off
I'd
and on.
say so. Yeah.
I mean, if it ever comes on TV, I'll leave it on.
It's a good little movie night movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, my wife liked it, so it's it's always nice when you can watch the movie with other people that like it and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is good. I like it for this and this reason."
Right.
It was a cool movie. I'd maybe give it like a 7.3.
Yeah, I'm around there, 7.2. I'd say the same thing. Say about there.
Wasn't a super Black History Month, but just because that's Chadwick
Right.
Boseman, we're going with it.
That's right.
That was a good movie though. I enjoy it. I recommend it, especially if you red box it or if it's on digital anywhere. You can rent it for $3. Rent it
Yeah.
and then buy it afterwards, or wait till it's in the $10-15 bin at Walmart or something.
Yeah, that would be good too. Good pickup.
Not really much to talk about with this movie. It was pretty
No, it's
self-contained.
Yeah, and straightforward. I mean, it was very straightforward.
It really wasn't much of a thinker movie. It was more of a like, this is what's happening. Okay, this is what happened now. This is the twist. Ooh, you kind of hinted at the whole movie.
Yeah.
Movie over. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Great. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
But the action was cool. The action was on point. That was
Yeah, I agree.
The action was top notch, and the chase scenes were really cool. Still don't understand how Chadwick got up so easily after getting run over by the car, though. Because he got hit hard. They both got hit hard by that cop car.
Superman
Yeah.
style there.
Surprised he didn't just land on his feet.
Yeah.
He just lands on his feet. Wakanda forever!
Yeah. Yes, you do not have the suit in this one.
No, you don't. You don't play like you do, but you don't.
Yeah.
Got anything else on this one, Mark? Any little tidbits you want to add towards the end?
No, that's it. Just, looking forward to something else Chadwick's in.
What else does he have coming out? Do we know?
I have not seen.
Well, I know they're doing Black Panther
Yeah,
2,
too,
obviously.
that's keeping him busy, so.
Don't even know what the fuck. Oh, he's going to be in a Spike Lee movie. The
Oh.
Five Bloods.
Okay.
That I didn't know Spike Lee was making another movie. See, it's called The Five Bloods. 4 African American Vietnam veterans return to Vietnam. They are in search of the remains of their fallen squad leader and the promise of buried treasure. These heroes battle forces of humanity and nature while confronted by the lasting ravages of immortality of the Vietnam War. Huh.
Might be pretty good. Who's else?
Paul Walter Hauser, Norm Lewis, Delroy Lindo,
Okay.
Jonathan Majors, Clark Peters, Isaiah
Nice.
Whitlock Jr., Jean Renault, Melanie Theory, Jesser Paconca. Oh, crap. That's, yeah. So, nothing like super noticeable, but
Man, I
it
haven't
seems
seen
like a pretty
Delroy
good cast.
Lindo in a while.
Well, here's the thing: is anytime any of these guys join Marvel movies,
Mm-hmm.
that it's pretty much going to dominate their movie career for
Right.
quite a while. I mean, Chris Evans did it,
Correct.
Scarlett Johansson did it. I mean, though Scarlett Johansson seemed to sneak in quite a few here and there.
Afterwards, yeah, Jojo Rabbit and
No, still, I mean, she's still
Right.
doing Marvel. I mean, she's in Black Widow.
Well,
Coming
no,
out, so,
I know, but I'm just saying, even during the Marvel phases, she's got,
Well, they always do these lower budget
Marriage
movies.
Story.
They can't do big budgets
right.
during these times because obviously they're at Marvel's whim and call
Yeah.
whenever they need them, and for good reason. I mean, hell, you don't become the number one highest grossing franchise ever by letting these guys just run amok. That's why Robert Downey Jr. last 10 years has only appeared in a handful of movies compared to all his
Right.
times as Iron Man. I mean, I can only think of literally 2 or 3 off the top of my head. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Judge, and Due Date are just 3 that come to my mind. And now,
Yeah.
since he's done, he did Doolittle, which sucked by all met.
But did he have, were some of the Sherlock movies were during that time period, right? One of them?
Sherlock Holmes was in 2009, and Game of Shadows, I think, was in 2011. So, yeah, they were between Iron Man, because Iron Man 1 came out in 2008, Iron Man 2 didn't come out till 2010, and then Avengers didn't come out till 2012.
Right.
And then he got really busy there afterwards because he had
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 right after Avengers, and then he walked into Age of Ultron, so there was a gap between those two. And then after Age of Ultron, he was peppered all throughout Phase 3. I mean, he was in
Right.
Civil War, Spider-Man, both Avengers movies. I mean, he was a lot more busy in those ones than he had been in previous phases. So Robert Downey Jr. did what he did because he knew he was getting the money from... I mean, hell, he not only did he get paid a certain amount for each film, he also got paid stipends from the box office returns
Right.
for each one
for
that
all
he
those.
appeared in.
Exactly. The interesting fact about Marvel movies and about movies in general?
What's that?
Samuel L. Jackson is the highest grossing actor of all time.
He's in every movie.
He's in every movie.
Yeah, he's quite literally
He's
in every movie.
all these
Hell,
movies.
isn't he going to be in the new Saw spinoff?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he's going to be in that. Dude, this is stuff.
He
Okay,
works.
here you go.
all the
Ready?
time.
So he appeared quite a bit. He was in Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and then between that and Iron Man 2, he was in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Fucking love him. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean,
It's
you
an
people?
awesome movie.
The Soloist with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Very good movie.
Sherlock Holmes, and he was in Iron Man
Love
2.
that.
And then he was in Love Distraught, Due Date, Sherlock Holmes, and Game of Shadows. Then he was in Avengers, Iron Man 3. Then he was in Chef and the Judge. And after that, it was all Marvel movies until
Yeah.
Doolittle.
Right.
And then now, it says he's going to be in Black Widow. Oh, it's because Black Widow takes time right after Civil War and Infinity War, so he might
Correct.
appear in that. A lot of people, I guess they're going to have a lot more appearances from dead, quote, retired Marvel
Okay.
characters in there, so that'd be cool to see. But yeah, it was a good movie. I recommend it. Dwayne Bridges, go watch it.
Good. Yep.
Definitely enjoyable. I can't wait to see what Chadwick Boseman does next besides Black Panther 2.
Correct.
But even if it is another kind of low budget, minuscule movie, I mean, there's always pretty good. Hell, some of my favorite Marvel actor movies are those middle ground
Oh yeah.
movies.
I mean, because they have the chops, and they make the movies good.
Yeah. Yep, this is why Marvel hires them. They're great actors. Anything else?
No, not on this.
All right. Well, I've been Kendrick,
And I'm Mark.
and this has been Movies in Black and White.